Okay, here we are, the continuation of the G0704 CNC modification. This is the stock unit right here. I'll turn it sideways, maybe it'll work better, I don't know. But anyway, so I'm going to disassemble this now, and then I bored all the holes in the parts, the tall arm in the back, the board, the base I should say, and then the element of the XY tray that needs to fit the bigger ball screw, and obviously the ginormous hole that's going to be in the back edge here where the motor is going to stick out for the axis. So I'll start disassembly and I'll take some shots along the way. In the process of disassembly, found that there's a must be some sort of Allen screw inside here, so I'm gonna back it out and see if that lets me get the head off the point here. Okay, that little set screw was what was holding the head on. Now I got that off, and I'll start taking off the back arm here. Okay, I've got the head off and the slide and all the screw that was in there. See if I can get a shot inside there. I don't know how well that'll show up, but there you go. And now we're going to there's this little portal on the back which I assume is for oiling. On the other arm that I bored the hole in, this wasn't threaded, so I'm going to figure out the size of that screw and tap it, and then on the other arm I have here on the bench, and we'll get this arm ready for removal, and then we'll remove the XY table off next and start working on that. A note about removing that top screw out. I didn't realize at the time, but this piece here wiggles out, and then it allows you to remove this length of screw out of that column without any interference. With that in there, it was too long to remove from the column just by itself, and so that's what it looks like. Okay, here are the tools that have been used so far in the project. We got a 19 mil, 17 mil spanner, essentially was a 3, 4, 6, and 10 Allen, a 13 mil socket, that was to remove the handles here on the end. I still got to do those on here. Couple blocks of wood, a persuader, and then just something to stick all the nuts and bolts in as I take it apart so I don't keep everything organized. And so anyways, that's what's been taken so far to get this far in the project. Okay, I've removed the top tray. Now I think I got to pull these two Allens out to pull off this tray, so then I can put it in my modified tray, which has this piece cut out to allow for a larger ball screw. And we're getting closer, and then remove the gib screws and pop the gib out too. Okay, we're down to just the base, so I'm going to unbolt it from the stand, and then I'll bolt the modified one with the 1-inch hole in the back and start this reassembly process. I'm going to have the base, the column, and the XY plate for sale. Obviously shipping's probably ridiculous, so probably be someone local pickup in San Diego area. So if you're interested, put a link in there, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, I noticed when removing the old base, this section was not painted, and it was actually roughed up, so I wonder if they just powder coated it with the paint on it, and I wonder if it has that finish of the roughness on the back. So I'm going to strip the paint off of this area here with some acetone and see if it has those burr marks or the texture marks in the surface for the base to attach. Okay, I've clean the surface off with acetone, and if you can see it there, the surface is textured like the other one. I probably just got to take a little bit more off each of these edges so the column will fit flush metal to metal. And then I just sprayed some lube on here just to get a feel for fitment here when I set the column on to see if I got all the paint where it rests against. Okay, I got the bottom plate here, and I got the new ball screw that came with the kit, and this bracket which I need to bolt onto here. I want to use some Loctite to hold these bolts in place so they don't come loose during milling process. Some low strength stuff, and then I'll thread this into the hole and show you that process. Okay, here it is, the flange bolted to the ball nut. That's what'll go in this piece right here, and then there's two bolts that will press against it. I believe in the original one I thought those bolts actually went into it, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to look at the old nut to see. But now I shall insert this into the base and put the wheel on the front, and then you got to do a drilling operation in the back here to add some bolts to hold that other plate on. Okay, I've got the two ball screws installed for the X and Y, and where these couplers attach to the spindle, there should be a nut that goes on this piece right here to keep that from pulling back in, but the nuts supplied are way too small to even fit on the shaft of the ball screw. So we'll send an email over to the gentleman and see if he can send me some proper nuts to do that for that axis and also the other axis here. Exact same problem. This rod is a larger diameter than the nut supplied.